Hello there, this is BinaryOptions.com, and we are continuing our Binary Options Academy with one of the most important economic releases that are, let's say, released, if you want, on each and every month or each and every quarter. We are talking about the GDP, or the Gross Domestic Product. So GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. Now, trading, regardless what you are trading, if you are trading binaries based on currency markets, or if you are trading binaries based on equities or on indices and so on and so forth, it doesn't really matter. Trading is being done on a technical basis or on a fundamental analysis basis, or news trading as it is also being called. Again, one of the most important releases is the GDP, or the Gross Domestic Product. Why? Because when you trade, you are trading currency pairs. For example, here, this is the euro, US dollar. So let's write here, to use this example, on the euro and US dollar. What are we actually trade on the euro and the US dollar? Well, we are trading nothing but the differences between the economic news out of Europe and economic news out of the United States of America. So this would be Europe. Let's write here on the screen. So this would be Europe, or Eurozone. Eurozone, and here would be the United States or the US. Now, why is this important? Well, the GDP, which represents the total values of goods and services that an economy is producing, basically shows the shape of that economy. And when you trade a currency pair, for example, you should know that everything is related to what the central bank is going to do the next time they will meet to establish the interest rates. For example, in the United States, let's take a line from here to here, like this. In the United States, the Fed is meeting at each and every 6 weeks. So you have, like this, the Fed meeting. Then you have another Fed meeting somewhere around here. Then you have another Fed meeting somewhere around here. Then another Fed meeting somewhere around here. Like this. Now, the distance in time, or the time between the meetings, it is represented by 6 weeks. So this one from here to here represents 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks the Fed is meeting to establish the interest rates, basically with the FOMC statement and press conference from time to time. Not after all FOMC statement we will have a press conference, but nevertheless. Now, in between these sessions, economic releases are hitting the wires, like the economic releases that you can find on any economic calendar here. This is the Forex Factory, for example. One of those economic releases, it is being represented by the GDP. Well, this GDP, when comes and it is being released, it offers traders an idea regarding what's happening in that specific economy. So let's say that this is the economy, the US economy. Let's put here the US economy. Remember what the GDP represents. The GDP stands for the total value of goods and services produced by an economy. If the GDP, for example, let's go back on Forex Factory. If the GDP comes in negative territory, for example here, it was 3.9%, expectations 1.6%, the outcome was 1.5%, so lower than expectations. No, is not that far from the outcome. But if it comes, for example, minus 0.2 or minus 1% and so on, shows that the economy is actually into recession, is falling into recession, and no central bank in the world is going to hike the rates or talk the currency with a hawkish tone if the GDP shows recessionary environment. There are some more tips and tricks what to look for when the GDP is released. It depends very much on the country or the area that the GDP is referring to. So stay tuned for the second part in order to see what's the differences between a quarterly GDP or an yearly GDP, and so on. Stay tuned for the next part, please.